Life can change in an instant. For many wheelchair users, the struggle to push forward is a daily challenge.
After years of development and countless prototypes, we created Rib Grips, the revolutionary wheelchair hand rim covers with built-in ribs for ultimate grip and comfort.
No more slick surfaces, no more heat burns, just pure, reliable grip. Rib Grips, empowering you to push forward with ease. Rib Grips, get a grip on your freedom. Discover the difference. Visit ribgrips.com and use promo code GRIP today. You just found the perfect product that helps with staying cool during hot summer runs. No more gross warm water. Stay cool with this product from Gear Handle. This hydration tube cover helps keep your water cool and easily accessible. Stay hydrated during those long summer runs or even delay from freezing in the winter. Plus, they're compatible with various brands of water bladders and come in various colors. Visit gearhandle.com and use promo code H2O today.
Hey everyone, you're listening to The Public Affair with me, Andrew G. I see someone different every episode, but do me a favor, keep it between us. Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy Andrew G, and welcome to episode 47 of my podcast, The Public Affair. I'm really excited to be recording this episode of the show, and thank you guys so much again for all your support. You know, it's like every week you guys don't fail me. I get this little mini panic attack every Monday and think, okay, is this going to be the week? Are they done now? And you guys are never done, and I really, really just appreciate it. 47 episodes strong. You guys are the greatest. Thank you guys again for all your support. Thank you to Rogue Media Network with Mike Hamilton and Aaron for everything that you guys do for the show. I really do appreciate it. And of course, I want to give a big shout out to everybody in town that rides with this podcast. You guys are the best. So thank you. I love you. All right. So before we get started with this really great episode, I definitely want to give a shout out to a few of our sponsors of The Public Affair. This episode is brought to you by Arjon Painting with my boy Juan Arjon. He's a family-owned local paint company that specializes in residential homes, both interior and exterior. He has the best quality guaranteed. So if you need your home painted, of course, you're going to call my boy Juan Arjon Painting, longtime sponsor of The Public Affair. And I'm trying to get him on the show, but he's, I don't know, he's acting all crazy, whatever. Thank you so much, Juan, for sponsoring this episode. Of course, to B&J Refinishing with my boy Frank Biza. He focuses on resurfacing bathtubs, counters, sinks, tiles, and more to original showroom quality. Offers 5-year warranty on most work and has the best prices in town. Of course, he doesn't stop there because we all know that he also has Co-Town Tint, which is a mobile tint and detailing business that offers the best high-quality film and products and will be all competitive prices. Frank don't play. He's all about the business. Love me some Frank Biza. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode. Of course, the Pollo Box and Audio with Jeffrey Monreal, whose shirt I'm wearing today. It's an extra large, just so we can throw it out there. He focuses on installation of stereos, door speakers, and audio systems. He also specializes in building custom subwoofer enclosures and much more. He's a jack of all trades. He just put the auto start in my car. I'm like absolutely loving it. Thank you so much, Jeffrey Monreal, for hooking me up. Of course, the Sid Rodriguez with Elite Barbershop located on Hewitt Drive. You can download the app or call the number on the screen to book. He also has Marcus Guerrero over there, Chris Reyes, and Santos Cordova in case you need a nice haircut for the weekend, make you look all fresh for your day, whatever, you know, single like me. Anyway, thank you so much, Sid Rodriguez, for sponsoring this episode. Of course, to David Santabanez with Alinea Real Estate. David Santabanez is the #1 real estate agent in his office. He'll help you buy a home or sell your home. Make sure you follow him on Facebook at David with Alinea. Call the number on the screen, darling, for all your real estate needs. Of course, the Kaylin Flores episode out now. Kaylin Flores with Dollhouse Aesthetics and Beauty. Kaylin and the girls offer a full-service salon with body contouring, lashes, eyebrows, makeup, and hair, and more. It's truly a premier beauty salon. Call the number on the screen or follow on social media for more info. Kaylin, girl, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode. And of course, to Four Brothers Constructions with my boy Joe Olvera. He provides custom home designs and renovations. He also focuses on roofing, remodeling, renovations, plumbing, roofing, tree removal, electrical work, and so much more. He does it all. Joe, thank you so much for all your sponsorship, all your help. I love you and all your love. Call the number on the screen for more details with Four Brothers Constructions. More to come later. All right, guys. So like I said, I'm really excited to do this episode. I got somebody different on the show. You know, a lot of people tell me, you have a lot of Latinos on the show. I decided to switch it up a little bit of Asian persuasion. That's right. And of course, I had to grab the best. So I'm here to talk about his life growing up, dropping out of one of the most prestigious colleges in town and becoming a world-renowned barber, or, you know, soon to be world-renowned barber, is Mr. Luke Wu. How you doing today?
Hey, Andrew. Thanks.
And I just want to, I'm so happy that you came on the show. Thank you so much for coming on. It's been a long time coming. You've been a long-time fan. We've run into each other several times, and I was always interested in, you know, getting to know your story. And like we were talking outside, I did just minimal research because I wanted you to spill it all in The Public Affair with me. You know what I mean?
No, that's perfect. That's perfect.
Now, are you coming from work? You're looking very snazzy. What's going on here? Or
No,
you
this is how I dress for work.
Okay.
But
You're just here.
I'm here.
Okay, God, I'm fresh out of work. I'm trying to, keep the eyelids open, whatever.
Yeah,
this
yeah.
stuff. But you know what? Wu said, I'm tired of you bitching on all your episodes that only the girls buy you presents. So Wu got me some nice red wine, some Cabernet. He knew I was going to the beach this weekend with my friends, so I said, thank you, Wu. He knows I love my red. I stopped drinking. Like, I don't drink a lot anymore, but this, a glass of red wine.
Yeah, me neither. It's a.
My slutty Andrew G days are over. I kind of miss them sometimes. I really do. Like, but I got business, all right? I can't be bloated and, beached whale and shit. Okay?
I mean, you don't have to drink the wine just for, to get drunk. It's for the taste, the delicious taste.
Woo, please. Okay, I can't. You know how you go wine I can't go to the wine and food festival anymore. I'm banned. Okay,
okay.
That's it. They said don't bring him back over here anymore. He's over here giving out advice he has no business giving out. I was like, no, I'm sorry. Okay, no, I'm not really sorry, but I give really good advice that night. Just by the way,
to each their own.
To each their own. Exactly. Well, Luke, do you want me to call you Luke or Woo or
Luke is fine.
Luke. Okay, Luke. Outside of this, I've always called you Woo, so I'm gonna try and get used to the Luke.
Yeah, a lot of people do.
Yeah. Okay.
It's
Is it
fun.
annoying? Is it annoying?
No, I mean, I've gotten used to it, but it's more like I guess it's convenient. It's it's an onomatopoeia, so it's very.
Don't be using big words on my show, please.
It is what it is. Onomatopoeia.
That was that word that you dared your friend to spell when you were a kid. Stop this.
Yeah.
You know how to spell onomatopoeia?
I think so.
Spell it now. Let's go.
Man, I haven't done spelling bee since elementary school.
You want to use big words on this show, the thesaurus words and shit. You better spell onomatopoeia right now. You don't have to. If you can.
No,
okay, I'm sorry.
I dropped out of college, so I don't do books. So,
there you go.
I retired.
No more education for you. He said, F that. You know what, Luke? I'm very excited that you're on the show. I truly, truly am. And Luke's like, why me? Like, you've had 100 barbers on the show. Like, what's going on? It's more than that for me. Like, Luke had a really cool story to tell as far as getting accepted. You were at Baylor University, correct? Dropped out to become a barber. To me, it's a little bit unspoken. Like, I know that there's a lot of college dropouts, but I really wanted to know what was going on in your head. We also spoke a lot about bullying when you were younger, so I kind of really want to touch on that too, because I think it's important for people to talk about. I haven't really talked about it on the show. You know what I mean? Especially two grown-ass men. And people don't do that, and we're gonna touch it. But before we get into all the good juicy stuff, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about who you are for the people who may not know.
Hey guys, my name's Luke Wu. I'm 24 years old.
Oh really?
I'm a Korean American guy.
Okay.
Currently living in Waco, Texas, but in 13 days. Well, I guess not 13 days.
Oh.
But in
a
a few days after the show airs, I'll be taking.
Oh, you're leaving.
Yeah, I'll be taking off to Tampa, Florida.
Oh shit, that's right. Okay, I'm glad I caught you when I did. Smashing them up.
Thank you very much. This is. This is the company I'll be working with.
Oh, okay. Is that a barbershop out there?
So this is a barbering company out there that does barbering hardware, software, continued education. Owns 5 shops across Tampa. Great. Probably the best opportunity I could get as a barber. So
that's
I'm
really
working
great.
With Great Tune 45. Big shout out to my fellows over there at Tampa.
Can you make them all watch, please, so I can start?
No,
so I can move to Miami and the beach.
Hey, I'll be there. I'll be in Florida too.
Show all your Florida friends. I lived in Florida for 6 months. Not enough to make an impact. Okay?
Oh yeah, I'll pick you up and take you.
You better. Look at that. He's already treating me right. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Okay. So don't judge me that I thought you were Chinese because I left Chinese food. You know what I mean? But Korean? Did you grow up at all in Korea? Or
yes, I did.
Okay. Do you speak Korean?
Yes, fluently.
Can you please speak Korean right here, like for a second?
안녕하세요. 제 이름은 우인재고요. 지금 이 팟캐스트를 리코딩하기 위해서 이 스튜디오에 와 있습니다. 네.
I love it. What did you just say?
My name's Luke Wu, and I've come to record
a
podcast in the studio.
That's so awesome. Can you say that Andrew G is the best ever and that you love him? No gay shit. Just that he's cool. Yeah.
Andrew G 이 친구는 정말 대단한 아주 좋은 친구입니다. 네.
Yes. I love it.
Perfect.
That's so awesome. Thank you so much for doing that. Okay, so you spent some time in Korea. How old were you when you moved over here?
So I was born in Seoul, South Korea.
Okay.
And then I moved over to Baltimore as a kiddo.
Oh, okay.
And and then I went through elementary, and then after 6th grade, or towards the end of 6th grade, I moved out of Baltimore to Korea. To Seoul, South Korea, and then lived there for 7.5 years, and then came to Texas, straight to Waco, Texas.
Did you like it? From Baltimore?
Baltimore was, it was cool.
Yeah,
it was cool.
You don't miss the snow though, huh?
No, I love the warmth. I
Really?
cannot do the
Oh,
cold.
so Florida's perfect for you.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Well,
there you go,
I
yeah.
actually really love Texas.
Okay.
I could if I could just pick a place to live, Texas would be the place.
Waco, Texas, or just Texas?
Texas, as long as it's in Texas,
Yeah.
it's probably the best. But
too
you got to go where
Yeah.
the opportunity resides.
You know what? I guess since I'm losing all this weight, it really doesn't matter. Like I don't sweat and breathe hard anymore, so you know it is what it is. So
Yeah, no,
but I love the cold. Like when we had that ice cap just a few months ago, I loved it, but I didn't like that my power was off for so long. I was like, "Sim, sim, sim, what's going on here? Okay,
Yeah, no,
like why y'all acting? All right, turn my heater on. Damn,
no,
like I love the snow and shit. I don't know about all that extra shit. Okay,
Yeah, no good.
yeah,
No
okay.
good at
So
all.
so you moved to Texas. Remind me how old you were again? Was it after high school?
Yeah, so I graduated. I graduated
Right.
high school over there.
Oh, so
And
you
then-
came here to go to Baylor.
Yeah, I came straight. I had never been to Texas. I'd never been to the
Really?
South. I
Ugh,
mean,
talk about a culture shock.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
it was crazy. And then I had to adapt. I had been out of the country for 7.5 years.
Okay.
The last time I left right after Obama got inaugurated,
Uh-huh.
and that came in 2016
Wow.
summer. And then, yeah, it was quite different. And
Yeah.
so I was like, wow, this is not the United States I remember.
Yeah, for sure.
Not the America I remember. And so,
Okay.
yeah, so it was just like, wow.
Yeah, okay. I see. You know, I moved here from New York. I've said it on the show before. I'm
Right.
from Long Island, New
Right,
York,
right.
and so I moved to Lorena. Well, excuse me. We lived in New York, and then I moved to Florida. I lived in Hialeah, Miami-Dade County, for like 6 months. And so, and then we moved to Texas. And
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, oh hell no, this is like a punishment. I can't do
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
No, yeah. You know, I want to talk to you a little bit about your life growing up. Well, you know, no, before that, it was so cute. So I always talk to my guests before they come on the show, like see how they feel, because you know the show is very risque. Listen, we're 47 episodes in, and Luke has seen the show from the ground up. Okay,
Oh,
so
yeah.
thank you so much
From
for all your support.
episode 1 too.
I appreciate it. Thank you for watching. And you know, Luke, I'm not saying this to bash you at all. I just want there to be awareness that there's people naturally who have reservations for coming on the show. Not necessarily because of who I am, but just because how I am. You know what I mean? Like they're scared that it might be a little bit too pushy, which I want everybody to know because I've had a little bit of flack outside of the show for this.
Really?
I have. A lot of people have given me shit for the things that I said on the show or how I've interacted with my guests.
Right.
The purpose of having the show was for me to be able to prove to myself and to others that I can interact with somebody like you, a straight man, normally, and it wasn't no
Yeah.
bullshit. You know
No,
what I
yeah.
mean? Like I can make the jokes. Like I work with a bunch of heterosexual men. You know, they're very macho and they joke with each other all the time.
Yeah.
And then like I just had one of my, I'm just gonna call him out on the show, Mauro, and I actually had a conversation the other day. My friend Marlon Maldonado. And he was telling me, you know, like when I first met this one gay guy, he was really pushy on me, and then he had tried to sleep with me, and it made me really uncomfortable. And I met you, and you just fit in. So I can see why people have reservations about me. Because I make jokes about sleeping with straight guys all the time and blah, blah, blah. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
But I never I hope you never felt like I pushed myself
Oh,
on
no.
you
No,
inappropriately.
No.
And because I think you're handsome doesn't mean that I'm necessarily trying to sleep with you.
Right,
either,
right.
you know?
Same way
And
I might compliment a woman
Yeah.
or a lady and be like, wow, you're a beautiful lady.
I just had
don't-
Kaylin Flores on the show with her triple D
Yeah.
titties. I loved her titties. Like it was great. Shout out to you, Kaylin, and she sponsored the show too. Yeah, it's you know, it's just for fun. You know what I mean? Like everybody get their foot out their ass. You know, that's all. And there's people that ride with it, and there's people that get it, and then there was some people who were just like, you're doing way too much, and I was like, I don't watch. I don't tell you. You know what I mean? So, but thank you for not letting your reservations hinder you from coming on the show. I really
Oh,
do
no
appreciate
worries.
it. Yeah,
No
you know,
worries.
'Cause that's all it is. I just want us to have a conversation, whatever. Okay, so and then. So thank you.
Hey, thank you very much for
Yes,
having
of
me.
course. All right. So Luke and I met. When did we meet? Was it last year? can't
Yeah,
remember.
I think the first time we actually met in person was
Okay.
the Christmas party that I was invited to. Jay invited you and I guess both of us
yes,
to his
yes.
place.
Jay Carbajal. He was on the show.
Yeah,
Yes.
great friend.
Yeah,
He's
he's a really
one
good guy.
of my closest friends.
He's
and-
helping me make new shirts. The shirts, I think they're out now. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Whenever this episode airs, we're on order. Anyway.
Yeah, and that's where I met you in person. And then I mean the other time and then the second time I met you was like a month ago when
Okay.
Jay's niece's
Her
birthday
party. Yeah.
But I mean again.
Well,
it's
but we
a
also
Jay
ran
thing.
into that time into each other at Crickets too. Remember we ran into each other because you were by yourself.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
No,
Remember
I
that
was.
paper food?
Yeah. No, it's so funny because like
Yeah.
all the it was all the 3 times that I've met you in
Okay.
person was after work. And I was
Oh, really?
all 3 times I was like, I'm wiped out.
Yeah. And you know, it was so cute to see you, like, you just went to crickets and while everybody's kind of just doing their thing at the nightlife or whatever, you just wanted to sit there, eat, and relax. Is going out to eat by yourself the norm for you? Is it like, you know, a lot of people kind of criticize that. Like, why are you going out? You have to be a loser. I've done it once or twice. I'm not going to lie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, after a tiring day, is that just something that you just enjoy to do? Like, have your own you time? Or
I mean,
like, was I being invasive when I came to your table?
No,
Sunday?
no. I'm, you know, my job
Yeah.
is as a barber.
Right.
I'm talking to, you know, usually 60, 70 guys a week.
Oh,
You know,
damn.
and you know,
I want that job.
well, also, that's as a heterosexual man, that actually is a disadvantage because I've forgotten how to talk to women.
Oh, really?
It's like I'm like
hello, what am I doing?
Yeah, no, I've mastered the art of talking to guys.
Really?
Like of all socioeconomic statuses.
Okay.
And I'm like, I can adapt myself like this.
Do you feel like you can adapt yourself to Andrew G in the public affair?
I think we've gotten along
Okay,
pretty
we
well
have. He
so
spoke
far.
Korean on the show already.
Yeah,
Already
so,
tickled my
no.
fancy quite a bit. So yeah.
Yeah, and so I mean, I have to get used to it.
Yeah.
And I've always been a loud talker
Okay.
and I could go on and talk about
Yeah.
you know all that. And so you know, it's kind of like second nature, you know, for me to, you know, be okay with people just like, hey, you know. Of course, going to Baylor or university life also enhances something like that.
Okay.
And I mean, to go back to your question, I'm, you know, I you know, food is a big part of my life, and so whether it's meal prepping, you know, I'll usually some weeks I'll meal prep, some weeks I'm just like I just want to explore more food.
Right,
And
I got you.
And I'll eat. I'll get off from working from 9 a.m. till 8 p.m., 9 p.m. Nobody's gonna come out.
Yeah, because it was an awkward time of the night when you came to cricket.
No, it was like 9:30, 10.
It was, yeah. But you know, it was really sweet. Like, first of all, it's 50 pounds heavier, so everybody shut up. Okay, and I might have been just a little bit drunk because I think that all the times that we've met outside of Jay's niece's birthday party, I was toasted. Remember, we have this joke, because I don't remember if you remember, but I was toasted at his house for Christmas.
Yeah.
Remember? And I gave you my drink and you were feeding it to me. he just not let me live it down. And I was like, I thought Woo was cool. Like, you know, you just didn't care. You were just like, oh, okay. I was like, Woo, more wine. You know what I mean? Do you remember that? I thought it was great. I'm sorry.
Wow, I'm surprised you remember it.
I do, yes. Well, because I've only been, when we talked, like, when I used to drink heavy, I used to, be disgusting, sloppy, fat, 300 pounds, anyway. You know what? I really want to talk to you about your education.
Mm-hmm.
So what struck me differently was that, I feel like Baylor is one of those schools that you have to work really hard to get into. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it's one of those schools that, don't you have to be accepted in or whatever the case, or you have to make like really great grades. You have to work hard to get into it. It's not like just like MCC where you can go apply and it's like, okay, here you go. Would you agree or not?
I mean, I think our standards might be a little bit different.
Okay.
I come from a family where, like, my dad went to school at Johns Hopkins Medical School.
Okay.
My parents' cousins, like my, everybody else, like my grandparents, all of them are, professors. Went to MIT, Harvard Law, Harvard Med.
Oh, shit.
Like Yale, Stanford, UPenn, Dartmouth.
Oh.
Like the Cornell, Columbia, like the list goes on.
To prestigious
like everybody, like that was normal.
Yeah.
Going to a top 20 or top 10 or top 20 university in the United States was very normal.
Okay.
And so for me, actually Baylor was just like a, what is that?
Oh,
kind
really?
of a moment. It's like everybody's like,
were your parents like, excuse me, Baylor? Like, no.
well, so they didn't know. Well, first of all, we've never heard of Baylor because
Okay.
I was supposed to. Like Baylor, in terms of rankings, Baylor is like around the 60th mark out
So
of
they're
like.
not that lit like we're trying to.
I mean, it's a great school.
Right,
I
right.
personally, I made it a very strong. I made it a priority to go to Baylor.
Okay.
Out of all the other more highly prestigious schools that I could have gone to, I chose specifically Baylor because of not just the academics, but this is more of a specifically the spiritual side, the religious side.
Yeah, for sure.
But I mean, it was, I personally wasn't like the smartest.
Okay.
I guess again, I think the standards are a little bit different.
I think our standards are different because when you get accepted into Baylor, that means you made really good grades. Like,
yeah, but
I would have never gotten accepted into Baylor. Okay.
No, but like I, again, the people I was around were like, duh, it's like you like. Why can't you get above a 3.5 in high school?
Okay.
Like
Like, okay, so because your mom, I guess, is the same way, if I'm assuming
yeah.
correctly. Like, she's very highly educated.
Yeah. Like
So
she was a classical pianist. Like,
oh wow, okay,
like, you know, nobody's just like, oh, just a, you know, whatever. Like,
yeah.
everybody's like very
Is
the
nobody
expectation.
is nobody just a barber in your
No,
family? Is that
so
what's going on here? Okay.
everybody in my family is a college graduate,
Right.
or university graduate, not just like a university. Every single
Oh,
person.
okay.
I'm the one that's like.
Are you
oh.
kind of the black sheep then of the family? Is
I
this what
guess
you're
like
going
I'm the one that's like obsessed with living in the South. I'm the one that's obsessed with, you know, like being a conservative. I'm the
Yeah,
one that's obsessed
really?
with being a Christian. I'm the one
Okay.
that's obsessed with, you know, serving at church. I'm the one that's obsessed with, oh, I dropped out of Baylor.
Right.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Or like I'm the one
And
that's
your family's so completely different then. It's like
Yeah.
we went to these really prestigious schools. You were supposed to do the same thing. Is that what's kind of
I
going on
mean,
here?
it wasn't like, oh, you're supposed to do the same
Okay.
thing, but it's just like, what else can you do?
Right.
Like,
That's so weird.
you know,
Yeah.
and I mean, yeah. So
Because my parents were happy with C's and D's. Like, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
No, but-
there you go.
well, I think they had most of the problems my parents had was if you don't do your best,
Uh-huh.
that's a no go.
Oh.
But they knew that if I did my best, I
Okay.
could get all A's, and so that's why, you know, if you have a non-A,
Yeah.
they're a little more reasonable in terms of like the general spectrum of the Asian
Yeah.
community. Like,
Okay.
I mean, there's a stereotype, right?
Yeah.
Like
that Asians
everybody,
are all smart.
Asians
Everybody's
are smart.
waiting. Just break the ice. Yes. That's
No,
what
yeah,
everybody's wondering.
but like, here's the thing. But like,
Yeah.
that's just the expectation.
Okay.
There's no like, oh, stereotype. Oh, their brain must be different. No,
Right.
it's just that is the standard.
Yeah.
You know, you just work hard. You don't like you excel. Like you don't just go with the flow.
It's
No, you
not
don't
like
go
settling
with
for
the flow.
less or anything
No,
like that.
you
Yeah.
you
okay.
try your best. Like that's the
Yeah.
big.
So
was
is that the
big thing.
misconception that we have? Is it just because the expectation maybe is more strictly valued?
Yeah.
Maybe not valued. That's lack of a better term. But maybe it's more strictly enforced. Is that the correct word in your household or an Asian household?
I mean, now it's since the 2000s.
Yeah.
I think a lot of things have shifted, even in the Asian American
Yeah.
kind of, kind of group, people group, more. I mean, it's more like third generation Asian Americans, fourth generation Asian
Okay.
Americans, and so those people have kind of, merged into the Western
Gotcha.
societal values
Okay.
versus the first generation and second generation. Everybody was very
Yeah.
like we just came across the ocean from a boat. Like
Okay.
we need to make stuff happen.
Got you.
You know, we can't just lounge around and expect,
Yeah,
my
yeah.
grandparents. No, like they didn't like my grandparents didn't have anything.
Right. Right.
You know, and they built up.
I got
some,
you.
You know, so
I feel what you're saying. So when you go to Baylor, right? And so what were you majoring in?
I shifted my major quite a bit.
Okay.
I mean, I started off with elementary education.
Yeah.
And then I went to
Elementary education.
and then went to undeclared, then went to corporate communications, and then I went to finance and
Jesus
marketing.
Christ, Will.
And
Yeah.
and then I dropped out. So
Okay, got you. Yeah, so you were just all over the place at school.
yeah,
Okay, so you know what? So you're in school. How long were you in school before you dropped out?
I went for a year and a half, 3 semesters.
Okay, so why all of a sudden are you just like, I'm done with this. This isn't for me.
Yeah,
I'm out of here.
yeah. So I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Baylor. Like Baylor University, it's changed my life. It's,
Right.
It means like the world to me.
Okay, great.
The reason I left this university was because it wasn't because I hated the university, like most people. Apparently,
Yeah.
that's what I've heard. And
Yeah, some people don't like Baylor. I don't know.
well, just university, like school.
Oh, like school.
But
okay.
yeah, but like
I hate
I left school because I found my passion that was
Right.
burning hotter than my desire for staying at Baylor,
Okay.
and so which was barbering.
Right,
that I
right.
discovered.
Really? So how did you? Okay, so then that leads me to my next thing. How did you even discover that? Like, so you're like in college, okay, and you're supposed to be like, per the expectation of your family, supposed to be getting this prestigious degree, and you're supposed to be in the medical, whatever the case is. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then all of a sudden you're just like, barbering. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which barbers are great. You know, I have a barber that sponsors the show. My barber, I love him. He's a boss.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's a great field to get into. You're kind of your own boss type thing. What did you see in that made you just be like, screw Baylor, F this, I'm done with education, I'm going to be a barber?
Again, my attitude was not, oh, screw this.
Okay.
Most of my clientele is surrounded by Baylor,
Okay.
Baylor athletics, Baylor, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
And so it was more so that I discovered barbering as a passion. And so how I discovered my passion, I
Okay.
guess. So I grew up never ever going to a barbershop. Like I went to
Really?
like salons, Great Clips, whatever. Just getting, whatever haircuts.
Yeah, we
we
did that too. Just
yeah.
We
Like
don't miss those
I
days.
just got whatever haircuts.
Yeah, okay.
And
Is that the name of the salon? Whatever haircuts. Was that what it was called?
I might have been.
That's what happens when you go to those types
No,
of
because
places,
like when
right?
I look
Yeah.
when I look at old photos, I'm like, golly,
that
like
was
this,
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
you know?
But
Yeah.
that I lived. I didn't really know about style and anything like that.
Listen, well, I used to be a cue ball, all right? I used to go to the whatever
But,
haircut.
yeah, but that's
Yeah.
okay. And so
No, it's not.
the first time I went to a barbershop was for at the end of junior year
Okay.
for prom. A lady at my church that I was in youth ministry with.
Okay.
She approached me and said, "Hey, you want to be my date to my prom?"
Ooh.
And that was 2014.
Okay.
And so I was like, cool, why not? I mean, she's amazing. Like she's
Yeah.
an amazing person. And so I was like, yeah, but I wanted to impress this lady. And
Okay.
so
So you're like, no more whatever haircuts. We gotta get the real deal. Holyfield.
yeah, so I had to, but then at church there was a leader in the church that just always looked perfect.
Really?
His hair. And so I was like, okay, I got to go to wherever he went.
Yeah, I gotta go to his church.
Yeah. And so I went and I got this haircut from that barbershop.
Okay.
And I was like, and got styled with the appropriate pomade or whatever.
Right.
I'm like, oh my gosh.
This is life changing.
Like,
yeah.
I got first comb over of my entire life. I was
Really?
like, oh, wow.
Now, do you remember the barbershop that you went to? Was it? It was in.
It was in Seoul, yeah. So
was in Seoul.
yeah.
Oh,
So after
okay.
6th grade, for 7.5 years, well, after I left Baltimore,
Okay.
towards in 2009,
Yeah.
until 2016 when I came to Texas, I was in Seoul this whole time,
Okay, I got you.
Seoul, South Korea.
Yeah.
And so during that, so I got the haircut. I'm like, wow. And so I kept on going to that barbershop,
Okay.
and that barbershop is dear and very, very, very dear to my heart.
Oh, good.
The Outro Barbershop in Seoul, South Korea.
Yeah.
You
What's
know.
the barber's name?
Dongkyu is his name.
Dongkyu.
Yeah, Dongkyu is his name.
Hey, Donghue. Shout out to Donghue.
Yeah.
Send my DMs, Donghue. Okay, good.
And so I came to Baylor.
Okay.
Obviously, that trend continues. Oh,
Right.
I want my hair to look amazing.
To go to a barbershop.
And
okay.
so I've first year I went to different barbershops and then I shaved my head because so it's more serious now.
It's more
my a friend that was down the hall, he's one of my best friends, Cole Harrison. He got I think diagnosed with stage 3 lymphoma cancer.
Oh wow. Sorry to hear that. Yeah.
And so we were just like, okay, in
So you did it, like,
solidarity.
for
Yeah.
him.
So
Okay, yeah.
no, he got his cancer like a month, like 4 weeks into college.
Oh, my
and it's
God.
like he had to go back home. So we,
So scared. Oh,
so
goodness.
several of
Is he
our
okay
friends.
now?
Yeah, no, he's cleared.
He's good.
He's good to go.
Okay, God.
He's living a great
Oh,
life.
how scary. Yeah.
Yeah, and so once the hair started growing out again, I went back to different barbershops.
Yeah.
And then I went to King's Barbershops toward the
Shout out King. Shout out Christian.
King's Christian,
Yeah, shout
Matt.
out Christian and Misa, who I've been wanting on the show. Mondo. Okay, go ahead.
all the barbers are excellent,
They
amazing
are. They're
people.
really nice. I met them. Yeah.
Amazing, top-notch
Yes,
barbershop in
yes.
Waco.
Shout out to them.
And so I
Tell Christian to come on the show, please.
No, please, Christian, come on the show.
Christian, I don't know why you're scared. And Misa, come on, let's go.
Christian, you know that you're one of
My-
the movers and shakers in Waco.
Okay,
you are one of the movers and
Yes,
shakers.
my barber Sid said the same exact thing. He said
No.
Christian has done so much for the community. You should have him on the
Oh.
show. I don't know, Christian.
I don't think he realizes it. Like
Yeah.
Christian, you have changed like how, like the community of Waco, he's introduced me to like the rancho culture, like
the rancho culture.
Going to
Yeah.
a ranch, he's got a goat hanging from the tree, like I'm just
Oh, okay.
like slitting
So
it,
you just-
like cooking it,
Making some
stewing it
tripas
up.
and
Like
stuff?
tripas, I'm like a big Mexican Mexican culture fan now.
Yeah.
Just
Just go to the things and stuff.
yeah, like he's the guy that introduced me
Right.
to.
Well, since you guys are so close, please tell him that it's okay to come on the public
No,
affair
please
because you did it.
come.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank
But
you.
anyways.
And Misa. Okay, good.
Yeah, so
Misa is Denise Balstar's brother. Anyway, good.
and so I jumped around barbershops and then
Okay.
landed at King's.
Yes.
And Matt cut my hair, and I was like, okay, like this is
it.
I
Alright.
went to like 20 different barbershops across
Really?
town, and nobody really like satisfied me back
Okay.
then. And so I was like, okay, like this, I'm gonna keep going
Right.
keep going here.
Right.
And then right around that time, I was obsessed with my hair, styling my hair,
For sure.
getting haircuts
It
every
looks very
2
nice, by the way,
3
too.
weeks. Thank you very much.
I wish I had your hair. I
Thank
do.
you very
Oh,
much.
God. Yeah.
And so it's every 2-3 weeks, getting my haircut, styling it up or
Right.
whatever. And you know, the haircut. There's the haircut portion, and then there's the hair product
Got
portion,
you.
right? And like
Oh,
I have
talk about that.
that was one of my biggest things. Collecting hair products was a big passion of mine that
Really?
derived from that pomade, the first pomade that I used, you know,
Okay.
for my first comb over. And then there I started collecting. That I still have like over 100 hair products.
Oh wow, really?
In my closet, I'm
Maybe
like,
I'm all Johnny B over here.
yeah, no, and it's just like,
Yeah.
like I love products, and
Uh-huh.
so through college I started collecting more and more, and then
Right.
because I'm on a budget, I can't buy everything,
Oh.
so I went on YouTube, Google, you know,
Uh-huh.
to look at pomade reviews,
Okay.
you know, to review,
Yeah.
check out their reviews and see,
For sure,
okay,
yeah.
this is what I want, and then down the rabbit hole of YouTube and the internet I went, I
Yeah.
discovered YouTube barbers.
Oh really?
Yeah, and
That's
so
a thing.
yeah, there's barbers on YouTube.
Okay.
Just like that.
Yeah, get it.
Yeah, just like that company.
Oh, just like
245.
you can keep their hat on there if they want. They can get
No,
the
yeah,
little,
big plug.
Because I want them to remember when I go to Florida and I move
No,
over there
no,
that
yeah.
they were on the public affair
No,
first. Okay,
Tomb
yeah.
45, Tomb
Yeah,
45.
there you go, Tomb 45 or
Tomb 45. Yeah.
Tomb 45. Okay.
That's right.
I'm getting Tomb Raider. All right, go
Yeah.
ahead.
So I discovered several barbers
Got you.
on YouTube.
Got you.
Initially I was watching them put product in their hair.
Right,
'cause,
right.
Again, product was more my
It was your
passion.
thing, yeah.
But
okay.
as I watched more of these barber videos, and I realized after about a year, sophomore year in college, I'm like, okay, like I need a.
Yeah.
This is what I want
This
to
is
do.
what you do. Okay.
Like-
so when you make the decision to drop out of college, Baylor,
Uh-huh.
and you decide I'm going to do, but were you practicing already while you were in school?
Yeah. So
Okay.
so this was sophomore year, and then
Right.
after watching so many videos, I was like, okay, why not try this out by myself? And so I borrowed a pair of home use wall clippers
Uh-huh.
from
Just the homie.
someone down the hall.
Yeah.
I think it was one of the CL's community leaders, which
Okay.
was at Baylor, and I cut some people down.
Was your first haircut a hot mess?
Yeah, it was
Ooh.
bad. It was like stairs on the head.
No, oh, hey, shout out to Abby who said the same thing.
No, like Abby used to cut my hair. Like she's
Oh, did she?
amazing.
I
like,
love shout out Barbara.
no,
Abby. I love
no,
Abby. Yeah.
Abby, she's
Yeah.
amazing. But anyways, it was terrible. But
Right.
after about 15 haircuts and continually watching these YouTube barbers, and then I realized, wow, I could make a career out of this.
Yeah, for
Like
sure.
one of the guys that inspired me that made me realize that I could make a career out of this was the founder of this company,
Really?
Chris Basio. He's amazing friend, amazing barber.
Okay.
I mean, world class. Like
What's up,
he's
Chris?
literally one of the world class educators, barbers, barber educators, entrepreneurs. Like he's
And you're about to go work with him.
yeah, and he's a millionaire barber. Like he's
Good
one of
for
the
him.
he's one of the millionaire few
Okay.
millionaire barbers in the world.
I'm gonna come visit.
Please do.
I would love
I'll
to,
show.
yes.
I'll show you.
Yeah, you can say, excuse me, I was on Andrew G's podcast,
Yeah.
Public Affair in Waco, Texas. Yeah.
Yeah, and so-
hopefully by then I'm a household name.
Yeah, and so once I realized that
Yeah.
I could make a career
Okay.
and then I went back home for winter break.
So when you broke the news to the family, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So when you say, "Hey, I'm done with this education bull crap,"
Again, not bullcrap, but I just found something better.
okay, you were just like, "Hey, I'm done with this." What was the reaction like?
They were just confused. Well, because
Like what?
again, I told you, like everybody got a bachelor's degree.
got you. Okay.
Everybody, every single one.
And they're
of
like, "So you're not gonna at least finish?"
like what is?
Did
what?
you feel like you needed to finish at least first?
Yeah,
Like,
sure.
you might as well finish
because
school and
because
then-
I didn't know what alternative there was. I didn't
Oh,
know
okay.
like as a barber, I meet so many people of so many
Right.
different occupations.
Right.
And, like some of these jobs I've never heard of. I'm like, how are you making $150,000 a year? I'm like,
Right.
what? What do you do?
Yeah, for
And-
sure.
But like again, school was like going to university was like the only way I knew how to live life.
Right.
And then but
then you
I, so
discovered
so I had to
something.
to explain to them like this entire thing that I just explained to you.
Yeah.
Of course, much more
It was
detail.
yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, like I started collecting hair products.
Were
too.
they upset?
They were just confused.
They were just confused.
Yeah.
So not necessarily. Well, obviously now, I mean, probably to them, they maybe look at it different. Like, hey,
no.
made a
He
very
makes
smart-
money. I
Yeah.
don't have to send him money. So
Exactly.
that's-
There you go. Well, and then you get to go. You met a lot of connects in town.
Yeah.
You were able to build a really good clientele.
Yeah, yeah.
Obviously,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you're somewhat known in town. Well, known in town.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. And you get to go to Tomb 45 in Tampa. So that's a
Right.
pretty good opportunity for you. So maybe now it's like, hey, look, I didn't have to go to that prestigious university or get that
Right.
bachelor's degree. You
Well,
know what I
back
mean?
then, like when I dropped out and
Uh-huh.
once I finally like, okay, like you're good to go. You can do that.
Right.
And then I came back to Baylor, and then the Friday before I dropped out, or Friday before school started,
Okay.
I dropped out, and then, Well, Baylor doesn't. Back then, Baylor didn't do a dropout. They
Right.
did you can indefinitely hold your academic records.
Oh, okay.
And so I could.
Did you indefinitely hold your academic
Yeah, so it's
record?
still on hold. So I could
Okay.
go back 30 years later. I could still.
Oh, and
go
just
to
pick up
school.
where you left off.
Yeah, yeah. And
Oh,
so
okay,
no,
that's
they
good.
have all the. Apparently, they have all the scholarships.
Yeah,
everything
yeah.
on hold.
I got
But
you.
anyways, and so once I dropped out,
Uh-huh.
they were good to go with that, and like
So
okay,
they were
well-
okay with it.
Well, they just like okay, well, we'll see where this goes,
Right.
Because
Okay.
I've had fads before, like
Oh, so
you're
they're-
interested in this,
Okay,
you're
got
interested
you,
in
yeah.
that. And so they thought it was a fad.
I bet they're over there like, yo, you better get your stuff together. Stop playing with us.
I mean,
were your parents paying for your school?
They were helping me out,
Okay.
but I was working on the side too,
Got you.
and whatever.
You were doing your thing.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
for sure.
But yeah,
Yeah, no, okay. Well, I think that's and so where are you barbering now?
I am at an amazing barbershop called Butler's Barber Lounge.
What's up, Butler's?
Working with my coworker Corey.
Okay.
Corey Zavala.
Shout out to Corey Zavala. We're friends on Facebook. I saw that. Yeah.
Amazing man.
Uh-huh.
You should have him on too.
Yeah.
But I mean, he used to work at King's with me.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Okay.
And like I think he joined the team. I think 2018,
Yeah.
20.
And so there's no bad blood with you and Kings,
No.
right? Y'all are all cool.
No.
Because like, isn't that what happens? Like, you guys work in a barbershop, then you open up your own thing. Eventually, you become competitors.
See, again,
and-
Christian is like one of the Christian is one of the most amazing people. Like he encourages
for you to do that.
like for you to do whatever you want to do.
Okay, so let me say you're very right about that, because when I did talk to Christian about coming on the show, we went over. My friend Mauro Maldonado gets his haircut by Mesa.
Right.
And so we went over there, and he says, "Well, I'll come on, but everybody here has to come on with me." So there's like
All
a
the
lot
barbers?
Of, yeah, there's a
Wow.
lot of barbers, so he wants to give exposure to everybody, which I'm so with.
Yeah.
But look at this room.
Yeah.
I'm like, where are we gonna fit you?
No, so
You
you're.
know?
I mean, you're gonna have to get a 35 millimeter lens, like a
Oh, okay,
wide
yeah.
angle lens, and get
Well,
like.
I'll tell you what.
people.
Mike is working on a music studio, and
Oh,
maybe we
perfect.
could do it. And we were gonna do
No.
Splash in there because Splash
Yeah.
made it sound like he was gonna bring 20 people with him.
Okay,
and then,
yeah,
like, three
perfect,
made it.
perfect.
And so maybe when that's the case, we can get it in the music room. It'll
Yeah,
be cool.
no, perfect. You could have 3 chairs here and then 4
Yeah.
chairs in the back, and move the mic around.
But you know,
like
but
this.
when my barber, especially when he refers another barber, I think that's really cool that you guys do that for each other. You know, because like,
Yeah.
he referred Abby, Joe Cuts, like
Right.
everybody's really cool with each other. I really
Right,
like
right.
that because you guys are in the same type of working environment,
Right,
so you
right.
can easily become nasty competitors. But everybody's like is really kind of just like hyping each other. I mean, would you agree for the most part?
Yeah, I mean, there's enough hair to cut.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Again, there's McLennan County,
So it's
there's
not even that
250,000 people.
Right.
Half of them, let's say, are men. 125,000 are men. Let's say there's 100 barbers in the McLennan County area.
It's
What
the-
are you going to cut 1,200 people
By
Like,
yourself? Yeah.
No.
Okay.
So
So it's not to get into the drama and the politics. It's not even that serious.
I mean,
like.
people that choose drama will choose drama.
Exactly.
So-
And if you're nice, you're nice. So it's whatever.
Yeah,
I mean,
so-
nice at cutting hair. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You know what? I think that's so awesome. So shout out to Corey Zavala. Shout out to, what was it called? Butler's?
Butler's Barber Lounge.
Butler's Barber Lounge. Shout out to them. And of course, shout out to Kings. Christian, when you're ready to come on the show, Misa, when you're ready to come on the show, let's go. If there's another barber over there we need to talk about, let's do it. Shout out to Mondo, who works over there. Shout out, of course, to my barber, Sid, the barber, Elite Barbershop. I love him. Me and Sid have been like writing for
Right,
each other
right.
since the very beginning. So I'm very happy and very honored
Right.
to have him as a sponsor. So, okay, you know what? I had to stop crossing my legs. I act like because I lost 50 pounds, I could just cross my legs, right? That just started hurting. All right, so here's something that I kind of wanted to get into that we spoke a little bit about on the phone, but I didn't want to elaborate on because I wanted to elaborate on the show. You mentioned growing up that you did face bullying. And I think that's an important topic to talk about because we haven't really talked about it on the show. Like, I've been very open about some of the things that I went through just a couple years ago. And what did you get bullied for? Like, what was that all about? And how did you feel like was there long-term effects?
Okay, so again, to preface it,
Uh-huh.
you can ask me anything. You can ask about my mental illness,
Okay.
my bullying, my whatever
do it.
family dynamic, whatever
right.
you need to ask me. I'm an open book. Like
I love it.
yeah, I mean
Yes.
that's what, like my personal Instagram. Like I don't open all that to just anybody.
Right.
Like I felt comfortable with you.
Thank you.
Scoping through if you wanted to. and
But
so-
that was so cute too. He was like, "Well, did you scope my Instagram Instagram to find out. I was like, no, I'm gonna ask you, but I want to ask you on the show.
Yeah, no, that's fine, which is fine. But like, I felt, I'm
Thank
an
you.
open book.
I'm so happy that I feel like a lot of people should be like that, and I can understand the reservations that people behind that have that, like they don't want to be open books.
Yeah, I used to be
know?
like that, but
Okay,
then
never mind.
I grew up atheist, but then
Really?
I found Jesus
Right.
at 17, and that's changed you wouldn't have you would literally run away from the monster I was
Really?
before 17. Before I'm a completely different person. I used to never smile. I used to
Really?
again from long-term bullying. I was
Okay.
bullied for around a decade.
So what was that for though? Like, why was it? Just like normal kid things, or were you just different?
Yeah, I mean,
or-
it would start off, in kindergarten or super young. I just like first of all, like when I was a kid, like my interests would be very different. Like
Right.
I remember like, small things like in kindergarten, like
Uh-huh.
I was in a pool, with it was all field trip day or whatever,
Yeah, yeah.
pool day or whatever. Like everybody has something that they're interested in. I was the only one that was interested in some other thing in the pool.
Yeah.
And I'm like, everybody's like, where is he going? Like,
Yeah.
and so like, obviously I was just a weirdo,
Okay.
a different person, should we say.
Right.
And so like I've never I've just been weird. Like this
Yeah.
whole journey of my life, dropping out of school, that's already weird apparently.
Okay.
Different, or should I say.
For the most part.
Maybe
Maybe to your family. Yeah.
For a lot, for a lot of people, they're like,
Okay,
whoa, you
that's fair
dropped
to-
out of college to
that's
be a
fair to
barber?
say, yeah.
And so like my life was just littered with different,
Yeah.
weirdo and all that. And, so from that being a kindergartner,
Right.
Elementary school, I had questions all the time.
Okay.
Like, I was the question kid at
Yeah.
school. Like, hey, why did you have to explain it like
What
that? Or?
did bullying play a part in you being an atheist?
No, I grew up atheist.
You just grew up atheist.
Yeah, we didn't have religion in the family.
Oh, okay.
Like, nobody's. I don't think. Only a a couple people are
Right.
Protestant Christian.
Yeah.
That are again, they never grew up. I don't think anybody really grew up Christian.
Yeah, for sure.
There's some Catholic family folks.
Right, right.
But yeah.
I think it's so sad to think of baby Luke being bullied. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, but
like little
I mean
kid,
that made
yeah.
that. I mean, but that process
Yeah.
from let's say kindergarten, like 5 years old, 6, 7, 8, 9,
Yeah.
10, 11, 12, 13, 14,
that's a
15,
lot of years.
16.
Yeah.
So that's like, more than a decade.
Right.
I had like, like the friends that I like could really rely on, like friends,
Uh-huh.
maybe 2 people.
Right.
And like I always ate lunch by myself,
Oh, wow, really?
like always.
Mm-hmm.
And so like my life is very different now.
Right.
And so it's pretty hard to imagine like for a lot of people like, whoa, what is that?
But don't you love seeing that like girl who bullied you when you were a kid have like 8 baby daddies and their job?
I actually
You know?
like I don't have any connects with them anymore.
Oh, really? Okay.
Well, or not. I
Well, they
never
live in
did.
a different country, so
Well, different country. Like
yeah,
again, I was the weirdo. So
Right.
why would they ever want to
I got you.
get to know me?
No, I think that a lot of people, what they don't talk about is that bullying, even as children, like it does have a long-term effect on how you treat people and how you are
Right.
as a person, as an adult.
Oh, of
and I
course.
do believe that bullying exists in adulthood too. Like I think that
Oh,
there's
yeah.
there's a lot of adults that bully other adults.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
I've had it happen to me. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I think it's important to talk about because it's not right. You know what I mean? And what do we show our youth like when we're bullying each other?
I mean,
as adults,
yeah,
you
and
know?
I mean, like I've had someone threaten me in a gas station with racial slurs, like that. I mean,
Really?
in Waco, like
in
you know,
Waco.
yeah, and
Oh,
like
wow.
I mean, but like that stuff exists. Like we
Okay.
can't. It's not like we can just like that doesn't exist. Like no, it does. Like
Right.
I face like, if I want to cut some particular texture of hair, they look at me and like that guy wants to cut my hair.
Right,
Like,
right.
Does he know how to cut my hair?
Well,
Like,
you're a licensed barber. Of
Yeah.
course you do.
yeah, and then I show him some pictures like, oh, okay, like you can cut
Right.
hair out, but I'm like, okay, so but that's something, you can only change yourself. You
Got
can't
you.
change the circumstances around you.
No, you cannot, and you cannot change a person who does not want to be helped either.
Yeah, and so, that's,
Yeah.
yeah.
But so was there a point in being bullied that you were able to overcome it? Like, what was it that you were just like, screw it? Like, you know what I mean? People are gonna say what they want to say. I'm done. Like, you know what I mean?
I don't think there was ever a point where I overcame bullying,
Okay.
like, on my own accord.
Right.
At least, I was getting bullied for whether when I lived in Korea, whether
Yeah.
I spoke English or read Harry Potter,
Really?
Like, why are you reading an English book, you Yankee? Like, someone's like, or like
They say that?
yeah,
in
no,
Seoul, South
hey,
Korea?
hey, Yankee, like
Yeah.
go back home or whatever. Like,
Right.
and I'm like, where is home? Like,
Yo, can I
Korea?
read Harry
Like,
Potter?
you
You
know,
know
like,
what I mean?
But in English, they're like, but all these Koreans, I'm
Mhm.
like, well, what is this American doing here? And then,
Mhm.
like, why are you here? But like, I was never invited either way. you
Right,
know?
right.
And so once, I think, I mean, I just dealt with it.
Right, yeah.
Like, I mean, it wasn't
It
all
just-
it wasn't all verbal. Like,
Okay.
I mean, like growing up, middle school, like I would get beat up like on the floor, like 10 guys on me.
Really?
Like,
What, just for no reason, though? Or?
I mean, I was being annoying, or I was asking
okay.
too many questions, and I mean, I'm not saying I was faultless, but like,
Right.
I just was a weirdo. Like,
Right.
I know I'm a weirdo,
Okay.
but I'm okay.
I
with
don't think
that.
you're weird now. And, if anybody was in this room, he smells really good.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you smell very, like, great.
Okay, thanks.
I don't know if it's the
Appreciate
hair,
it.
but I know it's very off topic. I just wanted to count that in.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But like,
Yeah.
well, now I'm okay with
Okay.
myself, and
Yeah.
I'm confident with myself. But back then, like I
Yes.
I mean, I still struggle with mental illnesses and whatever.
Okay.
Bipolar, PTSD.
Do you today?
know.
Today, are you like medicated on that? Or?
No,
Okay.
no medication. I was on like many different psychiatric.
Really?
Like, it's funny because my dad's also a psychiatrist.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
And so but like it was a mess.
Okay,
like,
got you.
Let's say that. My
So,
life was a
you know
mess.
what? I kind of want to touch into that. So, you talk about Mike, you talk about suffering from being bipolar and mental illnesses.
Like,
why
yeah.
not choose medicine to cope with that? Like, because
No.
why not choose?
Well, so
Yeah.
I did.
You did. Okay.
Well, I used to. Like, I have ADHD, PTSD.
yeah.
I can't even remember like chronic depression,
Right.
like suicidal, like et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et
Yeah,
cetera,
yeah.
et cetera. Like, I have so many things.
And you used
that-
to take medication for it.
Oh yeah, because
Okay.
well, again, my dad's a psychiatrist.
Yeah, I
It's
got
like,
you.
here, take this,
Mm.
or he would refer to his friends that are also doctors, and like
Right.
get a third opinion, and
Right.
also get medicated or whatever.
Because that was the first two opinions.
Yeah, and so I did that for a while,
Yeah.
but like my life just went down the spiral,
Right,
more
right.
and more and more and more and more.
Because of the medication, or just
I mean, the medication was
circumstances.
just for me to be normal,
right.
like study, like.
So I was gonna
like.
I'm just gonna ask here. Okay, do you think medicine is beneficial for people with mental health problems?
Yes,
You do. Okay.
but I think it was the circumstance that
Right.
didn't allow that medication to be helpful.
So do you think that it's a temporary solution to a long-term effect? Do you think eventually you just kind of have to get over your mental issues?
No, I mean, again,
okay.
everybody's situation is
It's
different.
different, right?
My case was I was radically changed by my faith.
Okay.
That was my biggest thing. Like, all of this is, I still struggle. Again, I'm not saying, no Christian will ever say that they're
Yeah.
perfect. Like, that is blasphemy.
Okay.
But like
Because you got saved.
yeah, so
you're saved, okay.
I met Jesus, and so like
What's up, Jesus?
and that like changed my entire life.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, I was on like multiple medications.
Right.
Like, that were like, like that I was addicted to. Like, these drugs contain like amphetamine. Like,
Okay.
like these drugs contained like.
Because people abuse those medicines. That's
yeah,
what I'm
no,
saying.
and
yeah.
I was abusing it.
Yeah, I got
Like,
you.
because I got addicted to it. Like, because I couldn't
Yeah.
function without it being.
I mean,
Anyways,
those people end up being Looney Tunes, not for nothing. Like
I mean,
they do. I'm sorry.
yeah, and so once I met Jesus, towards the end of 10th grade,
Uh huh.
I gradually didn't need it.
Right.
Once I my life stabilized completely. Like, my life just revolutionized. It was a miracle.
You found solace in like prayer and stuff like that. Then.
Like, just like the key principle of Christianity is
Uh huh.
like literally if I'm talking to a non-believer
Mhm.
or whatever, I would not be talking about, hey, did you do this? Did you do this? Did
Right.
you do this? Like, why are you practicing these things? Why are you doing these things in
Okay.
your daily life? My first thing is to talk about, hey, do you know this guy named Jesus Christ?
Right.
Like, that's my first thing.
Okay.
Like, he's the one that changed my life.
Gotcha.
Like, and I say this all the time. I am not. He is the owner of my life. I have no ownership over my life.
Hmm.
Like, I don't own my life.
It's getting really crazy in here.
No, but
I like
again,
no, yeah, that's you.
it's
That's
like literally.
I like Jesus too. Jesus is cool. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's
we're
the-
gonna have a conversation when I get to heaven. 'Cause Jesus says that.
No, but he's the coolest guy.
Yeah.
But again, he changed my life, and I personally didn't need any medication after that.
Okay.
And like through finding, again, realizing, school wasn't for me, and I found a career I like. I'm living the life I love, I life,
Right.
the life I'm cherishing.
Right. Nobody's behind you.
okay.
I'm watching.
The life I cherish, like I'm surrounded by the friends
Jesus might be
I
there.
love.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. he might be standing there because he's.
Hey,
yeah.
he's omnipresent. He's
Yeah,
everywhere.
there you go.
But I am happy.
That's good.
I'm happy. in
That's
my life.
what's most important.
No,
Luke, is your happiness.
I'm
Yeah.
so happy that I didn't need any of this.
good.
Then I could cope
Yeah.
without medication.
So being saved, what does that mean to you?
Well, it's the literal biblical definition
Okay.
is.
I don't know. Tell me, because
So-
I've never been saved in my life. So
No,
I met a
yeah.
guy. I met a guy. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I had Silas Nasita on the show.
Yeah.
And
Great guy, amazing,
Love
amazing guy.
Silas. Love Silas. And then I have a guy who I met outside of this. I don't want to. Anyway, I met a guy who he told me, yeah, I used to be like a big man whore, and I used to drink and smoke and FBs all the time, and I don't want to curse in front of Luke now. And so,
you can-
yeah,
I mean, you
thank
do
you.
you.
Okay. But he said like all these things, and then he met Jesus, and it's really crazy to see how people who have like been saved. I don't. That was disrespectful. People who have been saved, I use the air quotes. That their life they really become like this really happy or just like very level-headed person. You know what I mean? What is it like? What is the process of being saved? Like I don't understand.
Man,
how that works.
this
Yeah.
is you should have my pastor Jonathan Pokluda on the show.
He was the guy who
he
did the
was
pornography episode with Silas.
I
have a lot of questions for
I mean,
Jonathan.
he out of all the people that I recommended being on the show,
Yeah.
he is number one on my
Okay.
list. Like you should most definitely if he's okay.
I want to know what the experience is like of
Yeah.
Jesus coming
No.
to
And he,
Yeah.
I mean, he was a pastor that was
Okay.
overseeing a national scale ministry, called the Porch at a church called Watermark, which is one of the biggest churches in Dallas,
Yeah.
or I think in the nation. But you should definitely have him.
Okay. I'm gonna talk to him.
He will definitely get a better
Yeah.
description of that.
Yeah.
But for me,
Okay.
as I understand it from Scripture, and this is all from Scripture,
Yeah.
so an individual, all of us are born with sin,
Right.
and we are
Oh, yeah,
at fault at fault with everything.
Right.
And once we accept that as a person,
Okay.
we accept that Christ has as a God and a man, fully man and God, has come to live among us, and he was crucified for our sins.
Right.
Because sin in God's eye is the payment for that is death. And so Jesus paid the debt with his perfect life and his perfect death, that he he released us from that bondage.
Okay, got you.
And therefore, so that like we don't owe God anything,
Got
and
you.
we have an opportunity to live forever in the afterlife and transform our current life.
Listen, I believe I'm going to heaven. I pray every night before I go to bed. Me and God. You've seen the show. You know what I
No,
mean? I've revealed some things. Me
No,
and God
yeah.
had to have this nice little talk before
No,
I get
yeah.
into heaven. You know
No,
what I mean?
yeah. Yeah.
He's probably got my room outside the gates. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You stay
yeah.
here for now. You know, you know what I mean? Yeah, so,
But again,
yeah.
like I really think to get a further understanding, that's what pastors and ministers
Right.
are for. They study like
Right.
so much with that.
But
stuff.
you know what I like about you too, though, is that you don't shove it down anybody's throat. Anytime that I've been around you outside of this recording of this podcast, I got to be myself. I got to be the slutty drunk Andrew. I got to be the loud, obnoxious Andrew. I got to be the cool, chill Andrew. You know what I mean? Like you're not
Yeah.
judgmental. That's what I like about
if,
you.
if you're judgmental, I'm not helping anybody.
Exactly.
Like, but
Tell that to the people who were saved in town.
even if I want
Right.
you to join me in our believers world,
Right.
I guess being a Christian, like if I'm being legalistic that you should do this,
Right.
that is not the core of Christianity.
Right.
Like I'm not doing nobody justice.
Shout out to my girl Cece Fajardo who said the same exact thing.
Yeah, and
Adrian
so-
Fajardo's wife.
Yeah, and like
Mm-hmm.
you know
He
I
won
love that
6.
episode by the way.
That's yes.
Yeah.
That was episode 6. Yeah.
Yeah, but again,
Thank you.
again, like
and
I
know
do my
that-
part to be
Yes.
a great brother to everybody,
Right.
and anybody that
You do great at it.
yeah. So
You do great at it. And shout out, just real quick, shout out Cece who taught me how to put cinnamon in my coffee grounds, and that's how I told a girl. That's how I know Jesus speaks to you at night, because that's everything.
No, yeah.
You know what, Luke? I really appreciate you coming on to the Public Affair. I feel like I got to know so much more about you on the show. Am I missing anything here? What? Okay, so you're going to Florida. What's next for you?
So I'll be working again.
Okay, leave the hat on the
Man,
table.
I need to bring out. I need to bring out.
Okay,
this
because I want them to share this episode. I'm trying to brand outside
so,
Waco.
2:45. I don't know if this is a good thumbnail.
No, yeah, there you go.
Great thumbnail.
Create your own thumbnail, right?
But 2:45, I'll be working with them and working at one of their 5 barbershops across Florida called Headlines Barbershop.
Headlines.
You know, anybody from Waco that's flying in, you know, has got a cut from me or has known me personally, like. Yeah. Reach out when you're there. I'll pick you up from the airport. I'll get you a haircut. And
pick us up from the airport. I want the whole shebang. Right?
No, because I genuinely appreciate this town. I've been here since 2016, so it's been 5 years and I'm gone.
Right.
This town has transformed my life. Like this life. I mean, good. Waco is, as much as I always say, Waco, like, it's a small town. Like, I grew up in big cities, so like, I'm not used to.
You know what's great? I had Dominique Rocco Bolts on the show.
And great guy.
Yeah, I love him. And he talked about, you know, a lot of people think that there are opportunities in a bigger city. And I think that now people like him, and I have to say even people like me, are paving the way. Paving the way, like creating opportunity. There's that can be done in this town. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be only in Dallas, only in Austin. Like he wants to be able to create jobs and stuff for his community. I want people to know you don't have to go to a big city just to podcast. Like you could do it here in Waco.
It's just different. It's just like a different set of.
Yeah, you know, I think that again, I always say that the people who talk crap about living in this town are the people that don't got no business going on. You know what I mean? All you do is feed into your little drama, have 8 baby daddies, and whatever. You guys got to create opportunity for yourself. You guys have to be go-getters. You have to go out there and do your thing. Follow your dreams. Follow your passion. Like, honestly, this life is way too short to be sitting on.
Exactly.
A dream. You know what I mean?
And that's how I got this.
Big shout out to Tomb 45.
45, amazing.
And you're gonna have them. Okay, cool.
Please go
check it out.
Yeah, please go check them out at tomb45.com.
Tomb45.com.
Yeah, they have like 45 products with dozens of patents on them. Like,
I'm gonna go, and hopefully I'll find my man out in Florida, because it's definitely not here.
I'll pick you up. Let's go.
And don't you love it? Jesus saved that he's gonna pick me up to find my man. I love Woo. Yes. You know what? Thank you so much for coming on to the Public Affair. I really do appreciate it. Again, we can catch you at shout out to your barbershop one more time.
The Butler's Barber Lounge, and soon to be Headlines Barbershop.
Headlines Barber. Oh, they're gonna be Headlines Barbershop. Oh no,
I'm going to. Yeah,
you're going to. I'm sorry. Yeah, I got. And shout out to Corey Zavala again. I've only met him on Facebook and stuff. So, but yeah, big shout out to him. Thank you for everything. Thank you for supporting my podcast. Again, Luke has been one of those people that's been watching since the very beginning. So I really appreciate it. Thank you for not judging me. Thank you for accepting me and loving me for who I am. And I have to say, big good luck to you in all your endeavors.
Hey, thank you very much, Andrew.
Yeah, for sure. I do appreciate it. Before we wrap up and I do my sponsors, I do want you to say one more thing in Korean.
Korean?
Yeah.
But you're also, by the way, you're bilingual too, right?
Yes, I speak Spanish.
The same thing.
Yeah.
I'm bilingual
do you speak Spanish?
No, I'm bilingual.
Speak Korean. Okay,
Korean and English.
Can you tell the town that... No, I don't know. Say something. I don't know.
이 팟캐스트를 시청해주시는 모든 시청자분들 정말 감사합니다. 제가 도움이 됐다면은 구독, 좋아요 눌러주세요.
What does that mean?
Thank you for watching this podcast.
Yeah.
If you've benefited from this, please press the like and subscribe button
on
YouTube.
I love it. Yeah, we got to get that. And make sure you guys do subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/The Public Affair.
No, YouTube is the way to enjoy this podcast.
Oh, for sure. Thank you, right? The visuals.
No, the visuals. The visuals are like next level.
It's everything.
No, it is.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for the cabaret that I'll be bringing to the beach this weekend.
Anytime.
Yes, I sure do appreciate it. Thank you guys again so much for all your love and support. Before we go, I definitely want to give a shout out to a couple more of our sponsors of The Public Affair. Of course, the Soko Soccer Academy with Dominic and Ariana Gutierrez. They're located on Franklin Drive. They offer team, small group, and individual skill training. They also have open play on Friday nights and specialize in soccer training and fitness training with Dominic Gutierrez and Isaac and London Carrillo. Thank you guys so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. And of course, I can't go without thanking Fat Boy Michelada and Botana. I just got my Botana tray yesterday and it was delicious. I love. Oh God, they're so. Oh, I had you tried it?
Yeah,
you liked it, right?
And also Christian again has Botanas out.
Okay, but when you had it at Jay's,
Jay's thing,
good, right?
It was amazing.
Fat Boy Michelada and Botana offers the best micheladas and botana plates for yourself or for a party. They're locally operated, so make sure you get the best and not the rest. Thank you so much to Junior Banda for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Again, so thank you guys all so much for all your love and support. The community of Waco has been really good to me, and I'm very, very grateful, and I can't wait to branch out into bigger markets and out of town and, take it to Tampa, all right? You got to do me that favor. Right?
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Thank you guys again so much. I love you all, and don't forget, darling, to always keep it between us. That's it.
All right.
That was fun.
This has been a Rogue Media podcast.
Are you a podcaster? Let's talk podcast hosting. Are you tired of your current podcast host? Need real support and a community that gets it? At Rogue Media Network, we offer top-tier podcast hosting services to help you thrive. From hosting and distribution to dedicated support, we've got you covered. Starting as low as $25 a month. Join our community of passionate podcasters today. Contact us at hello@roguemedianetwork.com.